Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your June 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, that's intense. How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our root itself. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. So this is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, the Queen of Swords. If we're born on the cusp with Aquarius, this is going to be coming out quite intensely at our root, at what we desire during this time. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is ourselves coming through. We're represented by the cups in the minor arcana. We're represented by the moon in the major arcana. This also links us with the sun, which is in Cancer during this time, and also the new moon, which will be in Cancer on the 10th of July. Our inner self. We have Strength, which is Leo energy. We have the Empress. We have the Page of Swords, and we have the Page of Cups. So that's really, really interesting that we have the Queens here of Swords and of Cups, and we have the Pages here of Swords and of Cups. So air sign energy is going to be very intense for us during this time, and we have to embrace it. Now, it can be somebody that we know who is an air sign energy, who we're very close with. It can be that the air sign energy in our chart is going to be playing a very big role during this time. So do be mindful of that. Again, it's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But we're students within our inner self. In our heart, we have the Three of Wands and Justice. Justice is also Libra energy, time frame September 23rd to October 22nd. And then we have our inner self. not our inner self, the public arena, which we have the Page of Cups coming through again. So that's going to mirror each other, our inner self and our public arena self. And then we have the Five of Cups, which is change our minds, change our lives. We're going to see that if we change what we are focusing on, and we're going to have a tendency, as all people do, to focus on the negative, the heartbreak, the pain, the disappointment, we'll get more of that. But if we turn around and we start to see the Two of Cups that stands behind us, we start to see the healing, beautiful love, and we connect with that energy of the Minor Arcana Lover's card starts coming in, that unity, that power, that passion, that brilliance. Now let's look at the chakra energy that we have for this time. Pisces. How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have play with the heart chakra. It's so important. The interesting thing about human beings, and you'll hear us say it, like, oh, I haven't laughed like that in so long, or I haven't enjoyed myself that much. That's because play is something that can only be done when we feel safe, when we feel secure. If we don't feel safe, if we don't feel secure, if we don't have a common ground, we will not feel the urge to play. We will not feel as if we can let ourselves express ourselves. So the heart chakra is saying here, step back a bit from fear. It really is. We'll go into that a little bit more in a little bit. And this is the energy we need to be mindful of. What is the energy that Pisces needs to be mindful of during the June 2021 full moon? What is the energy that Pisces needs to be mindful of during the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. We have justice. So that's going to be really interesting. It's at our heart too, this sense of justice, the sense of wanting everything to be fair. And here's the thing with justice that we have to be really mindful of. I've meditated a lot upon this card because it used to really confuse me. Because I thought, well, what is it? Is it the white page, the black print, the word of whatever, the rules that we're supposed to follow? Is that what justice is? And how then does that pertain to ourselves? And we're going to see it as something we need to be mindful of, is that we're going to try and be all about the rules. All about the rules, or we're going to be very drawn to people who are all about the rules. And what we're going to find here is that we need people who are discerning, who are, one could even say a bit discriminating, and not in a derogatory word, in a sense of, I'm not going to let this energy into my life. I'm not going to let negative people have a say over me. I'm not going to let myself be bullied, be made to feel bad about myself, things like that. And so we need to step into our power during this time, and we need to step away. And that's going to be a big challenge for us during this time, for the people who try to control and manipulate, and into the energy that lets us expand and grow. Now, this moon is on the 24th of June, and as the moon always shows us, we have to surrender to the divine, because that's where our power will be. As we surrender to the divine, as we open up our hearts and our souls, as we embrace our power and our understanding and our being, we start to see that the phases of the moon, especially for you Pisces, you are moon sensitive, period, end of discussion. You're represented by the moon in the major arcana. You can be nothing but. So you might find, during this time, my emotions get a bit intense, or I don't understand why I don't feel always as stable as I want to, as I feel like everything is changing and, flux and moving and not steady ground. It's because we haven't learned how to incorporate the moon's energy into our lives, and how to incorporate the fact of Plato's statement that all is flux and nothing stays the same, which is absolutely one of my favorite quotes of all time. It was true 400 years, before the Common Era, and it's true now. So here, as we take in this power of the moon, especially for us Pisces, it's taking in the fact that everything is changing, that nothing is going to be that sturdy consistency that we want, and that our life has to do with flux, with change, with passion, with power. It moves us to the full moon in Capricorn, and it says the end of a tough cycle approaches. And this is because this is a time where we are pushed a little bit further. The end of the tough cycle approaches because we're tested a bit during this time. Because we have the sun in Cancer, we have the moon in Capricorn, and this creates conflict. It just does. Now, the signs that are going to be the most affected by this are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. If you're born on the cusp with Aries, do be mindful. All right? This is a time, or wherever these signs fall within your natal chart. This is a time where the sun calls us, Cancer calls us to unconditional love, and Capricorn calls us to conditional love. And we can have that battle between the unconditional and the conditional love, and we always think unconditional love is better. And here's the thing, it's not. And that sounds really harsh to say, and maybe even a bit cold. But I've been meditating upon this moon a lot, thinking about this moon a lot, and communing with spirit. And sometimes we have to have conditions to things. We can't just simply be unconditional, because then there are no standards. There is no. And that's a thing. We need to have no's. We need to have rules. We need to have boundaries. And so during this time, Cancer is all about the private life, the home, and nurturing. Capricorn is all about the public life, career, and responsibilities. But if we do not have this sense of my unconditional love comes with conditions, we will be mistreated. And we have to be mindful of that during this time. And what we need to nurture is that which is most sacred to us. This moon is calling us to nurture that which is most sacred to us, while still going after our goals and achieving, which can feel absolutely in contradiction with each other, because as we go after our goals, we need to be more in the public, or more driven, more focused. As we connect with that which is sacred, we need to be more introspective, more quiet. So again, this is going to be a bit tricky. Cancer calls us to value our roots in our home, and Capricorn calls us to value duty and public and personal responsibilities. So we're going to have to see how these two can come together, because they can come together beautifully. We can value our roots, we can value our home, and value our personal responsibilities, and uphold our personal and our public responsibilities while doing so. And this is going to be a balancing act that is important, but it's going to be one that calls us to the essence of Cancer and Capricorn. Capricorn's essence is our goals. What do we want to achieve, and how do we need to achieve it? Cancer's essence is our beginnings and our roots. These are important things. How do we begin? And what are we rooted towards? We're going to have an inclination here, because pages, the cups represent us, yes, but they also represent Cancer energy. We're going to be very influenced by Cancer. And we need to know that this is an emotional time, more emotional than a lot of other times. For us who are moon sensitive, that can mean that this is astoundingly intense, and we have to be aware of that. But it's also a time of profound revelations. This leads us to the new moon on July 10th, which says you and your loved ones are safe. And that's what we need to know during this time of new beginnings, during this time of a new start is coming. We need to know that you and your loved ones are safe, that things are taken care of, that there is alignment. We're going to be really focused on the heart and on emotions. We can find ourselves during this new moon, or around the time of this new moon, being a lot more sensitive than we usually are. As water sign energies, that's turning things up a lot. So do be mindful of that. On the 23rd of July, we have the new moon in Aquarius. And this is why this full moon in Capricorn is making us work so hard, because the full moon in Aquarius is saying, show the world the real you. And that's something that takes tremendous courage and is tremendously brave, to show the world the real you, to say, this is me, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is where I'm headed, this is what I desire. And so here, with the full moon in Aquarius, we need to really respect that and know that this is what we're moving towards. If we don't balance ourselves during this moon, it will feel almost impossible to stand before the arena of life and say, this is me, fully, openly, and honestly. It moves us to the need of play, to the need of embracing our hearts, embracing laughter, embracing joy, but still going after our goals. That's going to be one of the things during this time. Our heart chakra is going to say to us, I need you to do two things. I need you to see me. I need you to embrace your heart, your soul, and yourself. And I need you to be successful, powerful, and prosperous. And that is a tall order. And it doesn't mean that I need you to call in all the wealth in the world, but it means that during this time, in order to embrace security, in order to embrace play, we need to look at ourselves as successful individuals, as people who are headed towards a place of bounty, towards a place of abundance, towards a place of prosperity. And it leads us to justice. We have to be discerning with the energy that we let in and with the people that we let into our lives during this time. And we have to also be very mindful that the discernment Okay? This, prejudice that is a good thing, that not a bad thing, because we're going to say against negative energy people, no, I'm not going to accept this. We also have to make this, excuse me, not make us into prejudiced people, people who sit there and judge people just by, outward appearances. We're talking about the soul here. We're talking about the essence of a person. We need to find balance within ourselves, and we need to trust our own instincts. It leads us to our root, the Queen of Swords. Now, it's so interesting. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups are so different, but yet they have to do with that which is not quantifiable, right? So that which is quantifiable is the earth sign energies, right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the pentacles, and the wands, fire sign energies, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They deal with things that you can see. So money, prosperity, power. They deal with passion and creativity and what can be produced. With the swords and the cups, intellect, knowledge, and emotions. Now you can maybe quantify intellect through IQ and things like that, yes, but it's not in the same way. It's not in the same way. These are more abstractions. So this is a time where these abstractions mean a lot to us, and we have to have our hearts and our minds balanced. We have to have things coming into harmony, coming into understanding, coming into realization. The Queen of Swords is the warrior queen. We are called to be a warrior for our dreams, for our desires, for what we want, for what we need, for where we want to be. The swords are an interesting thing because they are weapons. And weapons are powerful. Weapons are intense. And the sword was the weapon in the Middle Ages and before. So here with the sword, we have the sense of power. We have the sense of intensity. We have the 10,000 hours to become a master at something. We're also going to be much more behind the scenes during this time. We don't need everybody to see our face and know our name. Okay? This is a time where at our root, we'd be more than comfortable stepping back, still being astoundingly powerful because I see the queens as directors. The kings are the actors upon the stage. But stepping back and being more in harmony with what we want and where we want to go, and planning things out very succinctly and very powerfully. The Queen of Swords is, again, the warrior queen. Is the person who doesn't put up with bull, who goes after what they want. The Queen of Swords is the most masculine of the queens, whereas the Queen of Cups is the most feminine of the queens. So this is the sacred masculine energy coming into the Queen of Swords, the sacred feminine energy coming into the Queen of Cups. And we have to learn how to balance the masculine energy of the Queen of Swords. And I think that's one of the reasons why, that is one of the reasons why the Queen of Swords is seen negatively. Because at times it can be confusing, or it can be corrupted the way a person uses that sacred masculine energy that the Queen of Swords is bringing forward. So it can come forward as a bully, it can come forward as a brute, it can come forward as somebody who is cold. But what we need to see here is that this is somebody who holds a tremendous amount of responsibility and carries a weapon that is astoundingly powerful. During this time, we have to embrace that energy of a warrior, that energy of somebody who is concise and precise, and then we embrace the Queen of Cups, which is us. The Queen of Cups is healing. The Queen of Cups is compassion and caring and insight, understanding and knowledge. She's the closest to the Empress of all the queens, so the closest to the most purely creative element of all the queens. How do we embrace this? How do we have the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine come together in a very sacred feminine way, because we're dealing with two queens here? How do we move forward in the gentle manipulation of the universe? Because that's what we're shown right here. The puppeteer skillfully maneuvering the marionettes. Marionettes? There we go, that's the word. So we have to be mindful of this. And we have to see what we want and what we're building and where we desire to be. And it takes strength. We have the strength card, the Leo energy coming forward. We have this sense of strength and determination. But it's not through brute force. She's not opening the lion's mouth because, I said so, and I'm going to pry your mouth open. She's opening the lion's mouth and checking. Is she caring for his teeth? Is she caring for him? What is it? How does the lion protect her? And how does she protect the lion? Because this is a symbiotic relationship. Here, there is power. There is focus. But it's not in brute force strength. We have to be very mindful of that. It's in strength of compassion, understanding, caring, and nurturing. Within our inner self, we're going to see that we need to nurture our strengths. We need to nurture our passions. We need to nurture what we desire. We need to see things very clearly, very distinctly, very succinctly. And it then leads us to the Empress. It leads us to nurturing our creativity. Now, the Empress in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is shown as being pregnant. So there's a sense of creative energy. But also we have femininity seen as creative energy, also chaotic energy. There is always a sense of chaos in what is created because it is the unknown. And I love this statement that I heard, that women are Mother Nature, because women are the nature of, women choose the nature that they have children with. They choose the nature of the people that they are attracted to. So that is perpetuating that certain nature. And that is so powerful and just a little bit mind-blowing when I heard it. And so here we're embracing this creativity. We're embracing this creative understanding, but we're also embracing the power of the chaotic nature of choice and expression and desire and self. I'm not saying that's true for every single person, because of course there are situations where you didn't choose the person that children are with and stuff like that. And yes, but that's the chaos coming in. That's out of our control. We're talking about the very positive here. And so here with the Empress, we're looking at a creative nature, and we're looking at the essence of creativity that has the biggest impact on society, on our world, and on ourselves, and of the way that we're moving forward. This brings us then to the Page of Swords. We become the page of the weapon that we wield. The weapon that we wield is our tongue, our thoughts. There is a reason why when people take over, right? When dictators take over in history, they kill all the intellectuals. They kill all the artists, because to have free thought is terrifying. And this is a time where we need to embrace our free thought. We need to embrace words and ideas and communication and insight and passion and desire, and just keep on asking questions, just keep on diving deeper. It will get uncomfortable. It's like looking into a lion's mouth, and there's nothing comfortable about that. But it will also become extraordinary. And then it brings us to the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups has inspiration coming from the most unlikely of sources, just like you have a waterfall within the cup right here. We're going to see things moving in a way that we didn't expect. Pages are also students. This is a tremendously good time for learning. By this moon, we will find a lot of knowledge coming our way. We will find sacred revelations guiding us forward. We will find insights that lead us, that grow with us, that move us in directions that we hadn't, thought possible. The Page of Cups is us as a student, is us as a sponge. Now we can also have children who are air sign energies, or children who are water sign energies, who are very much helping us nurture our strength of character and patience and what we love, and really showing us what we are creating within this world. That can be something very, very true here during this moon. But we're also going to see that this is the time to ask questions. This is the time to dig deeper, to dive deeper, because emotionally we will connect with knowledge. We will be able to process that knowledge because of the Queen of Swords, because of the Page of Swords. But we will also be able to see the truth and the untruth of that knowledge, because it's going to be with the conditional eyes that we are looking at things, with the critical eye that we are looking at things, and it starts to lead us forward. It brings us to the Three of Swords. Our heart is looking at things through new horizons, through new passions, new understandings, new dealings with ideas. We're seeing our ships come in. We're seeing our ships go out. We're seeing new opportunities headed our way. We have to be discerning. We do. I mean, Pisces, there's no way that we can just let everything hit us and not sift through what is right and what is wrong, and not act rather instinctually during this time. So we have to be just. We have to be discerning to ourselves, to what we need, to what we want, to where we're headed, to what we desire, to what we don't desire, to where we want to be. Justice is about balance. During this time, we need to call that balance in. We need to move this balance forward. It then brings us to the Page of Cups. In the public arena, we are students. And we might think, oh my gosh, that's so terrible. I want to be the queen in the public arena. I want to be the king in the public arena. I want to be the ruler. No. in a public arena, when we can step back and say, I'm taking it all in, I'm seeing absolutely everything, nothing is getting past me, that's power. When we're looking at things as a child would and say, well, why can't I do this? And we look at it and it's like, I have no idea why you can't do it like that. Why not try? Let's see. Let's explore. We're going to see ourselves breaking boundaries because we want to, because we don't understand why not, because we feel compelled. This is a time of questioning, of strength through questions, strength through insight. This is a time to stay true to what we want to accomplish in our lives and not let that fall away. It leads us then to the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is change our life and change our mind and change our life. By changing the way we see things, by changing, what's around us. And it can be literally starting to change things, like starting to clear things out, starting to become more focused. We start seeing the blessings. We turn around and we start to see the unity, the love, the caring, the compassion. Now, changing our mind sounds so easy. Change your mind, change your life. Great. That should be, I think that's a bumper sticker, right? Or a t-shirt or whatever. It's such an easy thing to say, and it's so hard to do. We can start off with tapping, helping us align with our bodies. We can do EMDR with a professional, look at the traumas that are holding us back. We can, journal and write things out. We can also take traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, which can help, or pestles in homeopathy, which also helps us. So there are a myriad of things that we can do that start to help us look at where we are stuck or deal with where we are stuck. And then as we start to deal with where we're stuck, we can start to see how that stuckness, how that inertia within that one area, within that energy flow of our being and ourselves is holding us back, is keeping us back, and is denying us the way to move forward. So we need to be open, open to new ideas. We need to work with our own energy, with what we desire, with what we want. We can do the Wim Hof breathing exercise, which I have linked in the description box below, to be able to connect with our breath. And there's power here. There's insight, and we're not helpless. So when it says change your mind and change your life, it's so easy, and it's so easy to wake up one day and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then just lose momentum. We are going to see that we're changing things powerfully and profoundly because we're starting to look at ourselves openly and honestly. It brings us then to the moon. How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly. How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. So at our root is wisdom. Communication is key. I like that. Our inner self. Trust. Your dreams need a practical plan. Self-love. Conclusions are within reach. Action. It's time to take action. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's too funny. So the public arena, definitely about action, going after it, going for it. Wisdom comes in at our root. Communication is key. We don't acquire wisdom if we are silent. I mean, no, that's wrong. So we can acquire wisdom in meditation, in contemplation. But what I'm seeing here is that quote, like, to be a good writer, you have to be a great reader. So to acquire wisdom, we need to communicate with the world, even if we are silent in and of ourselves. But we need to communicate that wisdom with us. We need to sift it through. We need to talk with spirit. We need to embrace. And so this time, to be a queen, we are embracing our wisdom, but we need to communicate mentally and emotionally with ourselves to be able to move forward in that wisdom, to be able to embrace that wisdom. It leads us to trust. You need a practical plan. We need to trust that by having a practical plan, it's not going to eliminate the wonderment of creation. It's not going to take away from the beauty of it. Yes, we will know all the fingerprints. We will know every single time, tape was used instead of something better. But we need to trust that we're moving towards something more, and we're headed towards something greater. We need a practical plan for our dreams, and we need to trust in that plan. And not think, okay, because I made this plan, it has to stay just like this. No, it has to be a bit mobile. It has to be a bit fluid and flexible. It brings us then to self-love. Conclusions are within reach. If we embrace our heart through love and compassion, the conclusions are within reach. If we start to look at our world, not as, oh my gosh, I'm a loser, but, oh my gosh, there's nobody in the world quite like me. Yes, we'll all follow similar patterns in some ways and then in others, but we start to love ourselves. We start to see ourselves as worthwhile individuals. The conclusions come within reach because we start to shed away the negative energy. We start to step away from the toxicity that is the world. And it brings us, that is part of the world. It brings us to action. Take action. It's time to take action. It's time to go after things. It's time to stop looking at what cannot be changed and start embracing where we need to be, what we desire, what we want, what we long for, our expression of self and our desire of self. It's time to take action. And that's what this moon is leading us towards. It's leading us towards taking action so that we can show the world the real us. So that we can say, this is me. Quirky? Yeah. Unconventional at times? Sure. Why not? Or conventional at times? Sure. Why not? But it's time to say, this is who I am. And this is the embracing of my soul, myself, and my desires. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. Oh, no, we didn't go through the subconscious self. My goodness, jumping ahead. Our subconscious chakra message is abundance, the root chakra. At our root is abundance. That abundance may not manifest itself in millions of billions of dollars, but it is manifesting itself in joy in life, in beauty in self. Let the abundance shine. Let the root of us shine. It's very much like take action. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Queen of Swords. We can become too logical. We can be drawn to people who are too analytical. Be mindful of that. And also be mindful of the people, the Queen of Swords, because some of the Queens of Swords, they're too much in that, conqueror negative energy, and they will cut you at your knees and say, what, I was just saying the truth. There's a difference between being brutal and being honest. There just is. So be mindful of that. And also be mindful of having that energy surround you. Of saying, oh, I'm just being honest with myself. When really what you're doing is chipping away at all your self-confidence, all that you desire, and all that you want. It moves us then to our subconscious rooted energy, which is the sun. At our root, we want to shine. This is happiness, joy, success. This is the happiest card in the whole entire tarot. At our root, we want that happiness. And it's time to call it forward. Our subconscious inner self is the King of Wands. Passion, fire, determination, transformation through what we are drawn to. The reason why we get up in the morning. And it's not just because we have to, there's work. It's because of passion that guides us. This is bringing the fire, the erotic, back into life. And it's not just sexual eroticism. It is the erotic of living, the exploration of existing. Our subconscious, I don't know if you just heard my nephew. Our subconscious emotional message is the Ten of Pentacles. Prosperity that lasts for generations. Wealth and abundance. This is wisdom that is ancient, that is seen instinctually by children and animals, right? And we can be so wrapped up in our own world that we don't see it, that we are not drawn to the ancient wisdom. This is a time to be drawn to the ancient wisdom, to let that knowledge, that understanding guide us forward. This is a time to embrace prosperity and abundance. And this is what lasts for generations. This is what, we talk about generational curses, right? And that's the negativity that our father learned or our mother learned or our caregiver learned, and they gave it to us, and they learned it through the generations, and it's just passed down. It's habits, right? But there are also generational blessings. That even if we had a father, a mother, a caregiver who was really strict, well, they at least gave us a sense of order is important or rules matter. There can always be something, not always, but in circumstances that aren't abusive, right? There can be lessons taken from everything, okay, that can help us, that can guide us forward. And it's time to embrace that. It really is. It's time to look at generational blessings with the same intensity that we look at generational curses. Our subconscious public self is the Three of Pentacles. It's collaboration. We work well with others. Let that shine through. Let us collaborate with others, or at least let us collaborate with spirit and see where that brings us, see what we get from it. But also don't give all the credit away. Don't say, oh my gosh, this person really did everything I didn't. No, take credit where credit is due. And also don't go the complete other direction and say, oh my gosh, I did everything and I did it all by myself. Neither one is good. It's collaborating, it's gaining a greater understanding, and it's moving forward in that sense of, I can do this because I have a team behind me. I can do this because, or maybe not a team, but because I have one person that I can trust. And that's a good thing. Our subconscious Luna message is pleasure. Have faith in your dreams. It is a pleasure to have faith in our dreams. It is joyful, it is beautiful, and it is freeing. And that's what we are longing for during this time. The pleasure in having faith in our dreams. The pleasure in knowing that there is more to life than just the endless, monotonous humdrum. And it's carving that out for ourselves. It's taking action. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the beauty of this moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces, and may you have a blessed moon.